Okay, so now we will move on to the next topic, that is the Kirchhoff's law in series and parallel circuits. Okay, Kirchhoff's law. So basically, Kirchhoff's law explains how current and voltage are considered in series and parallel circuit. I'll not explain the combinations, like how series combination looks like, how parallel combinations looks like, because already as you are in university level and most of you will be doing A levels or done with A levels, so you already have idea about the series combinations or the parallel combinations. So I'll just explain the Kirchhoff's law, how the Kirchhoff's law applies in series circuit and how the Kirchhoff's law applies in the parallel circuit, and then we will move to our awaiting theorems, that is the Thevenin's theorem and the Norton's theorem. Okay, so at first, Kirchhoff's law, as I said earlier in at the start of the video, I'm just trying to relate with your A-level concepts with an advanced topic, and a topic that is in university first year, that is taught in university first year, and it's often taught in electrical majors or electronics or robotics, or even computer systems, like in some combined majors. So this is very common topic that is taught in the university first year. Okay, so this video will be very helpful for those who are doing first year of university in electronics or electronics relevant majors. Okay, so for Kirchhoff's law in series, okay, sorry, let me pick up the pen. Okay, so in series circuit, if you see the series circuit, I'll draw the series circuit first. So that's the positive end, sorry, and that's the negative end. Okay, basically we use the blue color as the negative end. Okay, then there goes the circuit. We need an emitter. I'll connect the emitter. Here you go, the emitter is there. Then we need two resistor. Okay, for just understanding, I'll add here two resistor, two fixed resistor to be specific. Okay, one is here, another one is here. Okay, and then I'll just connect the terminals to complete the circuit. Okay, so we know that current flows from positive to the negative end, right? So red colored line is basically the positive end, so current flows that way. Okay, that's the current, and this is the resistor R1. So if you come from the left, R1, the first resistor will be the one on the left, which is R1, and the second one will be the one on the right, so which is R2. Okay, so the Kirchhoff's law says that if we derive, I'll not explain what exactly Kirchhoff's law says. I'll just use actually what we know, what we can derive from Kirchhoff's law in series circuit, and what we can derive using Kirchhoff's law about current in parallel circuit. Okay, so according to the Kirchhoff's law, in series circuit, the current remains constant throughout the circuit, right? So current, the actual law says the total current entering a junction and leaving a junction is the same. This is the actual Kirchhoff's law. So from that we can derive that in series circuit the current remains constant throughout the circuit. Okay, but in parallel circuit the current gets divided at the junctions. Okay, so current in series circuit is constant, so I is constant. So that means the current flowing through the R1 is the same as the current flowing through R2, right? Okay, and voltage, for voltage, using the Kirchhoff's the main basis of Kirchhoff's law, the main function of the Kirchhoff's law is basically you can use the Kirchhoff's law to find the current and voltage in series and parallel circuit very perfectly. Okay, so according to the Kirchhoff's law, the voltage in series circuit, total EMF in series circuit is total EMF in series circuit is equal to the sum of PDs. I hope all of you know the difference between the EMF and PDs. EMF is basically which the PD across the power source, okay, that means the voltage of the power source, and PD is basically the voltage of the component, that means the used up voltage. Okay, so the reason for picking up Kirchhoff's law in this tutorial is only that we can know about the voltage division rule in a series circuit, which is very important and a very basic knowledge which is must required for understanding the Thevenin's theorem. The Thevenin's theorem is basically on the basis of the potential divider circuit equation, and the potential divider circuit equation, it comes from the voltage division in series circuit. Okay, so the second law, that is the Kirchhoff's law for voltage in series circuit, it says the total EMF in series circuit is equal to the sum of the PDs. That means EMF equals to V1 plus V out. I'll take V out because I'll derive the potential divider circuit equation. Okay, so this one I'll consider as the output voltage. Okay, this the PD across the resistor, the second resistor, I'll consider as the output. Okay, because I want to derive the potential divider circuit equation using this circuit. Okay, so this will be the equation for Kirchhoff's voltage division in series circuit. Okay, now if I go beyond, I'll show you the potential divider circuit equation, which is a must to know before we start discussing Thevenin's theorem. Okay, potential divider circuit equation. Okay, so how the potential divider circuit equation has been derived, have a look. It's basically from the Kirchhoff's law in series, applying Kirchhoff's law in the series circuit. In series circuit, current is constant. That means current through R1 and current through R2 is the same, right? So we can say current through R1 is I1 and current through R2 it is I2. Okay, so using the Kirchhoff's law, we can say I1 equals I2. Same current is constant. So we know that from Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So we can say I equals to V over R. Okay, now look, when I'm deriving the potential divider circuit equation, I have to depend on the Ohm's law. That's the law we have just discussed in the last 10 minutes, isn't it? So that's how we will advance till the Norton's law, Norton's theorem. Okay, so V over R. So V is the PD across the resistor R1, right? So what I will do, since the whole circuit has the same current, right? The current here is I, the current here is I, all throughout the whole circuit the current is I. So I want to relate the EMF. EMF is basically the input voltage, isn't it? I'll relate the EMF with the output voltage, that is the PD across R2. That's the important concept for Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so rather than taking I1, I'll take I total because it's constant. So total current is the same as the current through each of the resistors, same. So I total will be V over R. V is the EMF over R total. So R total is basically the equivalent resistance for this circuit. So equivalent resistance for this circuit is R1 plus R2, right? And voltage across the second resistor, it is V out. So V out over its resistor R2. We need the output voltage, right? So make V out the subject. So V out equals to the resistance of the second resistor, like the resistance of the resistor across which we are taking the voltage. Okay, this is R2 times the EMF, the input voltage, which is the EMF. This is the input voltage. Okay, over the sum of the resistors R1 plus R2. Okay, this is the potential divider circuit equation which will be required for understanding the Thevenin's theorem. Okay, fine. We are done with the series circuit. Next is parallel circuit. Kirchhoff's law, applications of Kirchhoff's law in the parallel circuit. So why I'm explaining the application of Kirchhoff's law in parallel circuit? Because when we will discuss the Norton's theorem, we will need the current division rule. We will need to apply the current division rule from the parallel circuit. Okay, so in parallel circuit, if I draw the parallel circuit as before, this is the positive end, red colored, then blue colored, that's the negative end. Okay, when we connect the emitter here, okay, emitter is here, and then we connect two resistors R1 and R2 in parallel. Okay, so two resistors will come here as parallel. Okay, parallel, there you go, done. Just connect the terminals, that's it. Okay, so I'll connect the voltmeter here. Voltmeter come all the way to here, V. Okay, so this is R1, this is R2, and this is the emitter. So according to the Kirchhoff's law in parallel circuit, we know that the total EMF, the total current entering a junction and leaving the junction are the same. So that means this is the junction in the parallel circuit, right? So if I enters here, okay, and if both the resistors R1 and R2 are of the same magnitude, if they have the same magnitude of resistance, then half of the current will flow that way and half of the current will flow that way, right? Because Kirchhoff's law says the total current entering a junction and the total current leaving the junction will be the same. Okay, so current gets divided in a parallel circuit. Currents get divided at junctions according to the resistance of the loops. Okay, so this is one loop and that one is the another loop. So the one which have greater resistance will have smaller, the loop with greater resistance will have smaller current flow. The loop with smaller resistance will have greater current flow, because the voltage in a parallel circuit is constant across the parallel junction. Okay, now the question is how voltage is constant there, because if you see the work, this is voltmeter. The voltmeter measures the voltage difference, right? So if you see the two resistors, the end points, the terminals of the two resistors, the two resistors have common terminal. They are connected to the same common terminal. That's why the drop across both will be the same, and that's why voltage is constant in a parallel circuit. Okay, voltage, or you can say PD because it's across the resistors. Voltage or PD of parallel combination is constant. Okay, that's why the current flowing through a loop is proportional to the resistance, is inversely proportional to the resistance, like I is proportional to the 1 over R, because voltage is constant. So this is the Kirchhoff's current division rule, the Kirchhoff's application of Kirchhoff's law in parallel circuit. So this will be required when we will discuss the Norton's theorem. Okay, because in Norton's theorem you will need to apply the current division rule to figure out the current flowing through the load resistor. Okay, so that's all about the Kirchhoff's law.